guys all having a great time? So how many of you know how much Steve and I and Henry and Kristen Michael, how much we love Michael Bernoff? To us, Michael Bernoff is just not a keynote speaker. He's actually part of the Youngevity family because of the huge differences that he has not only made in my life and Steve's life, but in so many other lives out there within Youngevity. How many of you guys have attended a core experience or done one of his telephone conferences? He's absolutely, look at all those hands, I'm so impressed. He's absolutely amazing. He's a life changer. And he's not just someone you listen to once. If Michael was a one-hit wonder, we would have had him that one time and we would have moved on to other speakers. The one thing that Stephen and I have learned about Michael Bernoff is that we can grow and experience and go in new directions every single time we hear him. And this year has been no different. In 2017, in January, Stephen and I attended one of a brand new course that he was just offering for the very first time for people who'd been through his other courses. And we thought to ourselves, what more could we possibly experience? What more could we possibly do? How much more could we possibly grow? And Stephen and I set out to do two things in January of 2017. We set out, we made goals. We sat down with Michael, we made goals. And the goal was to move into a new home. It was time to downsize. Our middle child was moving on to college this year. And the second thing was to actually create new products from the ground up. Meaning that is something that in the last few years, Stephen and I had gotten away from. Sometimes running Youngevity is just a day-to-day grind. We have over 400 employees. We're growing that business every single day. We're going to international. And if it wasn't for the time that we spent with Michael in January of this year, we wouldn't have made that change and determination that we needed. And so this weekend, we launched our brand new spice line. How many of you seen that already? The Savior Spice line. That is not an acquisition. That is grown from ground up. Meaning Steve sat down with a spice specialist and really built this line from the ground up. But honestly, our hats are off to Michael Bernoff, who has made such a huge difference in our lives, and it is always our goal to share with all of you what we have experienced, what we hope you get out of it. And Michael is somebody that we wanted you to spend as much time as possible with. So I'm very blessed for this event. He was able to clear his schedule, and he's able to give all of us hours of his time. So I hope you have your notebooks. I hope you are really ready to make a difference in your lives, because I am telling you, in the 4 years that we have known Michael Bernoff, Youngevity has quadrupled its sales. We've done everything that we set out to accomplish. We have many more goals to go through, and it is all because of this man. So without further ado, please stand and welcome Michael Bernoff to the stage.
All right. How many of you ever got choked up before? Anybody ever got to a point where you knew exactly what to say and forgot what to say? That just happened in the last couple seconds to me, so hopefully I can pull this off now. Michelle, Steve, I want to tell you, not only I'm going to commend right back, because that's one of the biggest things in direct sales we need to do, is to give credit back to those who do so much. I do want to say, not only did you have the courage to come and attend our events, and you have the courage to step out and say what it is you wanted, what these two individuals have done, what they do for us here with Youngevity, is they've mastered something so powerful that by the end of the weekend, I'm certain if all of you can have this one thing down, you're going to have an opportunity to do some major things. How many of you would love the ability to have a whole lot more money? How many of you would love that? Okay, how many of you would love the courage to share Youngevity in a way from your heart? How many of you would love that? How many of you would love to talk to those people that you really, really want to talk to? How many of you would love that? How many of you got people that you can't get across to? You may never. Let's get real. Okay. But the one thing that I recognize that Michelle and Steve Wallach have really mastered, and this is from the concept of integrity, from the concept of learning, from the concept of growth, they've mastered one thing that if I can get this out of the way in the next 3 sessions for all of you, it's really going to make the biggest difference. And really what that is a little something called implementation. How many of you would love to take what you learn in the next 2.5 days, and how many of you would love the ability to implement it in your life? How many of you would love that? I got a chance this morning, and I got up early, and it's amazing that in a group like this, that so many people have the ability to want more and do more. And I got up this morning and Deborah and I were headed to the gym and we started like calculating this hotel. We said, how many rooms are here? There's probably 1,000 rooms in this hotel, maybe more. There's 2,000-3,000 people here for this event alone. There's other people floating around the hotel. I mean, how many of you hit up somebody in the hotel for the product? Anybody? How many of you saw someone buying coffee and you wanted to stop them? Anybody? At the Starbucks, yeah? Okay, good, I get it, I've been there before. How many of you have been that rabid recruiter? Anybody? Like you want to stop everybody? Okay? Now, what's interesting about this is, we got up this morning and Sanjeev was talking and he was covering a little bit about, he was covering health and nutrition. And we went by the gym and we realized that out of the thousands of people, there was a couple of 100 people listening, maybe 300 people listening. And then we stumbled into the gym and a very health conscious group of people. And out of 2,000, 3,000 people here for this event, there were 3 people in the gym. And the reason I'm telling you that is I am super passionate, like you guys are, about health. I'm super passionate about nutritionals. I have a built into my house, just so all of you know, when we had the house built, I built in a cabinet inside of the house just for supplements. I have my Youngevity, like literally I have a walk-in for product. Okay, how many of you like that idea? Okay. Now, I'm not telling you that to impress you. I'm telling you that to tell you that I understand, and I understand your passion, I understand where you're coming from. So I have about a 2-hour period. It's about a little over 90 minutes, almost 2 hours to cover this here today, and to really teach you something very, very important, because I'm with you on this. And those of you that don't know my background, I think for a lot of times people think, oh, he works with Steve and Michelle, he works with Tom Chenault, he works with the top leaders, he worked with the Biomedics crew, he works with these guys. He can't help me. And the reason I say that is a lot of times people think like they don't know my background and where it is that I came from. And I'm going to tell you, I never was, when I first got started, the person in the front of the room. I was the guy that got started in network marketing, because what's so cool about this event and being here is that when Steve said, and Michelle, they said, do you want to speak at the 20-year celebration for the company? It gave me a chance to reflect on the last 20 years of my life and what I've done and what happened. And for me, what's super cool about that is I started in direct sales literally about 22 years ago, right about now. It was October, I was about 19 years old, I'll be 39 years old this year. And that was the first time that anyone ever shared with me the idea that I could have more in my life. Now, I don't know about you guys, but how many of you, since you were a kid, if I were just to ask this question, then I'm going to get into my presentation for a bit, but I want to make certain we get on the same page. How many of you in your life have felt that there's something special about you and you're here to do something important? How many of you felt that? Okay, raise it a little higher. Okay, make sure raise it a little higher. Do we have a deodorant product? Okay, so make sure before I say raise it too high. Okay. Now, my whole life, I felt this way. And don't worry, if you can't see me because I'm moving around the room, I wanted to be with the people. That's one of the things that's different about me. I don't speak up top. I speak a keynote today, but I'm more one of those people who likes to be with everybody and with the room. I want to be with you guys. I want to come home with you. I want to be part of what it is that you do. And I remember being about 19 years old and thinking one day it would all just work out. And how I got involved with network marketing when I first got started, I was in college, somebody came up to me, and they shared the idea with me. And I got so entrenched with the concept of not only could I have more residual income, building teams, helping people, but that was the first time that I really, and this is what I'm really talking about tonight from the main stage, the first time I really understood the concept of dreams. The first time I really understood the concept that turning my dream into a reality. Because how many of you have a dream deep inside of you? Okay, how many of you have the deep dream so deep inside of you, it doesn't really live in the real world, and it's time to get it to manifest? How many of you like to manifest? Okay, so I believe there's several portions of this, and I'll talk about this tonight. The biggest thing that I learned from one of my mentors along the way, because standing up here in front of you, being 6'6", I'll just tell you a little bit about me. A lot of times people say, easy for you, Michael, to market with people. You're bigger than them, and you're from New Jersey, and if they say no, you'll hit them, okay? That's what people think. But being that I'm 6'6", one of the things, like, how many of you have insecurities? Anybody have insecurities? Okay. What's interesting about having insecurities is my whole life, when you're 6'6", and I'm maybe 6'6", 240 right now, working on being about 235. Anybody else working on their health? Okay, working on losing 5, I'll trade you 5. You need 5, I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5, right? You can use it. How many of you want to give him another 20? Okay. Now, one thing I recognize is for myself, and this is one of those things about insecurities, is that they get in the way of letting you get what you want. So I spent a large majority of my life being one of those people that held back. On the outside, I looked like an extrovert because I would talk, but I held back a lot of the times the things I really wanted to say, the things I really wanted to do. And I lived almost in this little box. And if Michelle were to explain, this is the one thing that I help people get out of, is that little box. And what's cool about these guys with the iPhones, they're gonna have like, are there any chiropractors in here? They're gonna need one as they start turning and turning and turning and turning to get the whole presentation. Yeah, what happened is for me, my insecurities would come as a kid, because when you're 6'6" and you're 238 pounds, there's a time that you're 6'6" and you're 148 pounds. How many of you understand what I'm saying? And someone could roll, a wing could blow over and you can get knocked over. So I was always that guy that would take, and this is probably till almost about 10 years ago. I've never shared this with an audience before, but I felt it's important to tell you, is I was always that guy, and I even had this when I first met my wife. She always likes to say, you were so nervous on our first date. I was, but I won't tell her that. She's in this room, so it's the first time she'll hear that. I was a little bit nervous, and the reason why is I'm one of those people that when I go into a new situation, I'll tough it out, but I'm a little unsure at first. How many of you felt that? So I remember taking this feeling I've had my whole life of being uncomfortable, because when you're 6'6", you feel like you scare people, and if you really love people, you don't want to hurt people. So here I am wanting to talk to you, but I'm also worried I'm going to scare you at the same time. How many of you see the double challenge? It's kind of weird what I'm saying. So what I recognized is I took that into my business. So when I first got started in business, I had a dream, I had a desire, I saw the car program. Like, how many of you get excited when you see the possibility? You see a Tom Chanel walking around and go, damn, you got another new car? Okay, that's amazing. Was the Porsche not enough? How many of you would like a new car? Okay, I want that too. I'd see this, and I started thinking big, because my parents were absolutely some of the greatest salespeople in the world. My dad being an engineer. You normally would not call that a salesperson, would you? And my mom being a school teacher, not much of a salesperson, but here's how they sold so well. I would walk up to my mom and my dad, and how many of you have resistant people in your life? Anybody have resistant people? How many of you got some people that think you're nuts for being here? Anybody? Raise your hand high, let's call them. Okay, get your phone out, let's call some of them. Okay, they think you're crazy, right? So my parents, I would tell them the things I wanted. I grew up in New Jersey, near a little town called Short Hills. Anyone familiar with Short Hills, New Jersey? It's where the rich people live. Not where I lived, where the rich people lived. And I'd go there to the mall, and I'd pretend. I'd look at my mom, I'd go, look at that fancy car over there. You know what my mom would say? It is fancy. It is nice. She'd almost say, I bet you'd like to have it. And then very quick in her sales ninja hypnosis, my mom would very, very simply say, it's very nice, but it's not for somebody like us. Was she being mean, or was she just acting the part of who she was? She's being realistic. With the challenge with getting your goals and getting your dreams and making your life work, the Wallachs are not realistic people. Okay, they're unrealistic. How many of you realize, because if all they are is realistic, there wouldn't be a spice company? How many of you get that? Because in the real world, there's not one. They live in a different world. They live in a world called possibility. And the world that I want to talk to you about is really what I was first introduced by my sponsor when I first got started. That literally changed my life. My background was direct sales. My background for 5 years of my life, I struggled for 2 of them because I wouldn't listen. I struggled for 2 years because I was a know-it-all. I struggled for 2 years because I was insecure. But you didn't know I struggled because I could fake it. It's called Visa, Amex, Discover, and MasterCard. I could fake it. I had such a nice look in one suit that I wore. I'd change out this shirt so you didn't know the difference. I'd park a mile away from the hotel so I could walk over. Michael, why are you sweaty walking into the meeting? Oh, I just wanted to go for a jog today. No, I didn't want you to see my car. Do you know what I'm saying? I had this old Infiniti G20, and it was like 2000, and the car was from like 91. Do you understand? It was beat down, it didn't look good, it was used when I got it. Okay? The reason I'm telling you all of this is just to get to the point that when everything changed for me, it was on a day like today. It was a moment that I decided to listen and realize that I can't take what it is that I already have and bring it into my business. So what I brought in my business was, I brought in the insecurity. I was able to talk to people, but I would talk to people the same way each time. What my mentor taught me was a few things, and some of them I'm going to share tonight, some of them I'm going to share right now. Little things that you can do. And he said, Michael, if you do these, you get to be like one of those people up on stage. Now, how many of you would like to be like one of the big dogs up on stage? Nobody really wants to be a dog, but how many of you would like to be like one of the big dogs up on stage? Okay. Now, what those big dogs have done is they found a few things that worked, and they do them over and over again. Now, the stuff that I teach, after almost 5 years in direct sales, I got very, very frustrated. I'm going to talk to you guys about this later too, about what really drives you, because How many of you would like to wake up in the morning super, super double driven? How many of you would like that? How many of you would like to wake up in the morning where you just do more of the things that work, and at the end of the day you go, damn, or darn, or damn, or heck, or I don't know what you say in Texas. Shoot, okay, whatever it is that I did, poopy, whatever I did, right? At the end of the day, you turn around and you go, bam, I did it. That's what I want for you to see happen at the end of the day. And the way that occurs is to understand some very, very basic things. So when I talk about this, because how many of you have heard that old statement in direct sales about you gotta know your why? How many of you have heard that? I've heard that 1,000 times. Okay, I don't wanna get rid of that, and I'm sick of hearing it myself. Okay, what I wanna talk about is how you can share what you really do, almost like a Doc Wallach. Because how many of you realize that man is driven? How many of you agree with that? He's driven by a dream that is deep in his heart that I'm going to teach all of you by the time you walk out of this and my tonight's session, that all of you are going to have the courage and confidence to do. Because how many of you would like a piece of that in you, or at least hear his voice screaming in your head, reminding you to do things? Now, I'm maybe one of the only people in the world, I wasn't involved with a company that Doc Wallach was involved in, but I used to listen to Dead Doctors Don't Lie over and over again on a cassette tape to motivate me. I don't remember what product it was, Steve, but I used to take it to make sure I didn't get gray hair. I think it worked. Okay, what was that you need to add? I kept on thinking, don't take that, what is it? Yeah, I just started taking everything he said. By the time I was done with the presentation, listening to that, I had already changed all my diet, changed everything for me. And what's the challenging thing was I wasn't even selling a nutritional product. I was driven by the idea of his drive that was inside of him. So by the time we're done with this session here, all of you are going to learn how to ignite that inner drive inside of you, but here's the best part. How many of you would like to ignite it in others? How many of you would love that? Okay. I'm also going to share with you in a little bit what my mentors taught me. He said, instead of trying to sell people, how would you like to be influential, almost be like a magnet, where you don't have to sell anymore, with that uncomfortable feeling. He goes, Michael, you seem so uncomfortable when you sell. How about you stop trying to sell? And how about you start influencing other people? How about you start becoming a person of influence, so when people come up to you, they just want to do business with you. See, when you're a person of influence, I asked Michelle, how many spices are left, Michelle, today? Zero.
15 minutes.
Did you have to sell it, or it was influence?
No, we just had to open the booth.
How many of you would like that to be your garage? You open it up and people flood in. Anybody want that? Okay. I want that for you as well. And some of you think it's easy because it's Steve and Michelle. But 20 years ago, Steve and Michelle did not have the ability to do that. It's something they learned that I'm going to share with you today. I'm also going to teach you a couple of things, a magic line that I've used to make millions of dollars for myself, tens of millions of dollars for other people, and it's a simple little technique that every one of you are going to have a chance to use here today that can make anybody interested in what you do and start chasing you down. How many of you would love people to start chasing you down? Okay? And what I mean by chasing you down, people say to me, Michael, you spend a lot of time telling people what you're going to do. And I say, I do spend a lot of time prepping what's going to happen. And the reason why is, I study influence long enough on other people that I want to get to the point where you don't just say, Michael, what do I do? I want you to say, Michael, can you please tell me what it is I want it? What do I want people to say? I want it. So don't just listen to me today. Watch what it is that I do. And the reason I'm asking you to watch what I do is because I'm prepping all of you to open up your minds to learn better. Because do you realize one of the things that you have whenever you're explaining something new like Youngevity to people, would you agree that to the general public, not us, the general public, would you agree that being healthier and eating a certain way or taking nutritionals, or some of you do scrapbooking, or some of you do health nutrition, whatever it is that you do, how many of you agree that what we market in a lot of ways is a foreign idea to people? How many of you agree with that? So if it's a foreign idea, taking a foreign concept to somebody is no different than walking up to somebody and going, hi, what is your name? Paula Johnson, nice to meet you. What I'd love to talk to you is about algebra. And here's the one thing I want to tell you about my passion for algebra. It is one of the greatest things in the world is algebra. And when we're done with algebra, I'd love to get into geometry. Would you like to bring some friends over so we could talk about it? How many of you realize that is what you may sound like? Anybody catching on? Okay, we've got to stop talking algebra, stop talking geometry, and we got to keep it simple. Like if any of you get a chance, stop by if I'm down by the store downstairs. Like, because people walk up and I'd say, show me how you sell Youngevity, and they walk out and go, well, let me break down all of the 90 essential minerals. 1, I go 2, they go 3, they start naming them, and I say, watch how I sell it. And I'm going to teach all of you a way that you can create a magnet for people, where you can get everybody buying into the whole concept of 90 for life, getting them to buy into the concept of what we do without having to explain all the details. How many of you would like to stop having to explain all the details? Leave it to Doc to be interested in the details, not you, okay? I don't want to understand why rebound works. I just want to give you an experience of why it works. I see it on your shirt. That is bad for me to take that because what happens, I get double hyper, okay? And double hyper means you guys get me bouncing off the wall, so I'm not taking it right now. And the last thing I want to cover with all of you today is really a simple little technique that when I talk about magnetizing yourself to other people, it's really understanding what really brings people together, what really brings people to make this work and help all of you get what it is that you want. So if you guys are ready to learn how to magnetize people, I need you to sell me on this, which means a lot of us, we come here, we have this whole little idea that the way that we learn is we gotta sit back and be polite. I'm gonna tell you that this is a very open session where you can throw up your arm, you can ask questions, you can get involved. If you challenge me, don't, because I'll win, okay? Don't do that. But I wanna make certain you want it. And I'm just gonna play a little game here. You guys are all gonna say, let's. Everybody say it, say it. Let's. One more time. Let's. One more time. Let's. I didn't hear you in the back. One more time. Let's. And then you guys are gonna say, go. But I'm gonna do it like this. Let me just test it. Go. Go. They're not as loud as you. Go! Go! So let's give this one more time. I believe you now. Okay, so we're all in. I want to make certain that we're ready to rock and roll. So how many of you would love the ability to start getting people super interested in what it is that you do? How many of you would love that? Okay, so let me show you how simple this is. I did this on stage at last convention, and a guy said to me, they said to me once, they go, Michael, what is it that you really do? And I couldn't really narrow it down because I wanted to make it simple, I wanted to make it easy to explain, and what I do is like what you do. I have 9,000 products and things I do in ways that I help people make their lives better, get people over insecurity, help people feel more confident, help people buy a new beach house in Coronado, I help people become rich, I help people become successful, I help people get rid of money and they start donating it. I do like 80 different things. And then I said, I think I understand what I do. I think I can explain it real quickly. When it comes down to talking with people, I have become a master in the art of communication over 20 years. Going from scared, insecure, to frustrated, to getting to that point when I got out of direct sales as a full-time profession. Here's the biggest reason I got out. I had a mission. I guess it's a good idea. I got pissed off and frustrated with the way it was. I felt as a business owner, it is way too challenging for people. And if what my mentor taught me how to do made me multiple six figures in my early 20s and nobody else knows this stuff, I got obsessed with that moment. What did I get, folks? Obsessed. I got obsessed with that moment that I was going to share this idea with as many people as possible. It wasn't easy when I first got started. My first meeting that I had was about 7 people. I walked in the back of a Denny's and I had to explain what my program was. I was so bad at what I did at communicating the message, I had to tell everyone, I will buy you breakfast if you buy my product. How many of you realize that might work? I said for I calculated $17 at Denny's for breakfast, plus a heart attack you get from it, okay, and all this, and then you do my product. That's what happened, how I got my first 3 or 4 people involved with what I was doing. Now, what was interesting about this is when my obsession came to helping people, it was really about this one thing. So when the guy said to me, Michael, what do you do? I said, I've mastered communication in a way to lower the resistance in other people. How many of you would agree the reason you don't have the things you want in your life is you have resistance that's self-imposed? How many of you believe that? How many of you would agree if I go to sell something to Patrick, if Patrick says no, is he saying no or is there resistance? What is it, folks? Resistance. So I figured if I can help people lower resistance in themselves and other people with simple tools and strategies, no one has to sell anymore and then people just wind up buying from you. So resistance lesson number 1 I'm going to share with you, and I did this from stage a couple of, like last year I believe, and it's a really fun concept that I want to share with you. I think one of the greatest ways to learn is so people can see it right before their eyes. So let me just ask a question. Let's go old school right now, because I know a lot of you, how many of you want to build your whole business online? Anybody want to build it online? How many of you like to the point you don't talk to anybody anymore? Okay, how many of you would like to just remove the human equation? Okay, you can't. Because when you're doing direct sales, it's about people. When I got started, it was fax machines. Does anyone, was it young kids? I mean, this guy wouldn't even know what a fax machine is, okay? There were fax machines, there were leads. We had a thing called a telephone. Is anybody familiar with it? Has anyone realized recently your phone doesn't ring anymore? Has anyone noticed that? Like, how many of you realize, like, whoa, 8,000 text messages a month, but 3 phone calls? The reason, the challenge in the world today we have is because people don't communicate as well as they used to. So I'm going to show you communication 101. I'm going to teach you a really, really simple technique that all of you get a chance to use starting today. Now, let's go old school right now. Let's go into something that I call professional environment killing and destroying trees. Who has a business card? Okay, let's get a person with a business card that's not seen me do this before, and let's get you up here. Would you like to come up here? Do you have a name? What's your name? Everybody, John Constantine. All right, give me that thing again, John. Give it to me. Let me see that. One more time. Everybody, woo! I just wanted to see if you would do that. Okay, now, this is a business card, and this is an attempt to do business. Can you come back here real quick, because they're shooting video of us, and we want to pretend like we have a magic trick. Can you do that thing where you walk down the stairs? Can you do that thing? I'm just kidding, you don't have to do that. Okay. How many of you agree one of the things I want you to do is laugh? How many of you realize you don't laugh enough? How many of you realize 90% of your presentation shouldn't be, the whole world is dying? If you don't take Youngevity, you and your family will die. But here's the problem, like, that's bad for return policy, because if they miss a day and they don't die, they call the office. And they're like, it didn't work, the sales rep lied to me, I didn't die. You're better off getting them to laugh and have fun, because how many of you would rather go to a show that's fun? How many of you would like that? So we've got to add to the way we communicate. We got to start having more what? Fun. Some of you are like, no, I will not. I will be miserable and be upset. John, sorry to leave you up here. Okay, now, so John, this is a normal transaction amongst people. And I want you to watch this, because something subtle is going to happen. The power of magnetism is about to occur, and it's so easy, every one of you can do it. Most of you have your pens ready, you want to write it down, you want to get it right. The key is to experience it. What do you got to do? You just got to feel it. And it's easy, because when Henry and I were chatting, he goes, what were the cool things that you learned when you started doing direct sales that made a difference? Because I wanted to teach everybody, like, reverse, double, upside down, change your brain. He's like, dude, just teach the stuff that works, right? I just like to talk theory sometimes, but this just works. So I'm going to ask you for your card. Do you promise not to act with me right now? Okay, so are you nervous? Okay, good. Can I have a card? So we're at an event, and he's like, hey, have you ever heard of Youngevity? Can I give you my card? Can I have your card? Okay, cool, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that, thank you very much. Now, what am I going to do with this card? Like, if we were real, what am I going to do with it? I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it. Like, I hadn't worn this jacket in a couple of weeks. People handed me cards from 2 weeks ago. Sometimes I don't wear a suit for a year. You know when I find that card again? Next year. How many of you recognize this is what's called not effective? What's it called, folks? So hand me my card. Hand me your card. Can I have your card? Thank you. And what am I otherwise I'm going to do with them? I'm going to put a pile on my desk. And where do you keep your pile of people you don't get back to? How many of you got a pile of people you don't get back to? How many of you got a voicemail box full of people you should be calling but you avoid, right? Like, I feel like sometimes, if any of you accountants in here, anyone accountants? Works for the IRS? Anybody? You're an accountant, you didn't want to announce it, right? As an accountant, what's interesting is they hate it when somebody shows up with the shoebox full of receipts. I have a shoebox full of money at my office a lot of times. It's a business card that people handed me incorrectly. Now, I'm going to teach you guys how to hand out a card right now, but it's less to do with the card, but it's more to do with the way we need to communicate. How many of you would like to make a video about Youngevity, make people watch the entire thing, and at the end they want to buy from you? How many of you love that? This will work for that too. How many of you like to get on the phone with somebody, they're busy, schedule a time, and they actually show up when they said they were going to be there? How many of you got somebody that was supposed to be here from your team this weekend and they didn't show up? Let's kill them. Okay? But that's how you feel inside, because you didn't do this. Now, this is human right now. The name of my company is The Human. I'm from Jersey, skip the H. Man, I gotta say it correctly. Human Communications Institute. And I think people, as we've got technological, we forgot to become human. Now watch this. I'm gonna ask you, this is not my card. So ask me for my card. Absolutely. And if I hand it to you, where's it gonna wind up? In your pocket, maybe you'll call me, maybe you won't. We did the convention in Vegas. I'm one of those people that like to play the odds. How many of you realize we're going to play the odds, you play to win? How many of you get that? Like one of those things I do in Monopoly, this is just a thing I call the 1% advantage. Whether positive thinking works or not, one thing I taught Michelle Wallach was really simple. I said, there's no harm in believing, is there? How many of you realize we don't believe enough? So when I throw the dice, I pick what I want. I got so good at it, it happens a little more often for me than other people, maybe 1% more, but my 1% more will make me beat you. How many of you understand what I just said? I don't mean beat you like we want to beat that guy that didn't show up, okay? Now, let's have fun. Ask me for my card, John. Absolutely, under one condition. I got his attention, didn't I? Yeah. I'm not saying to be rude and pull something away, like, here, take this, don't. I'm not saying pop someone in the head. The most important word is to do something people don't expect. Here's what happened. Here's what my sponsor said. He said, you set up a meeting for people. They're coming to your house tonight. How many of you have done an in-home meeting? How many of you have done an in-trailer meeting? I've never done one before. How many of you have done an in-boat meeting? How many of you have done a hotel meeting? That's something different. Okay, now. You two again? All right, now. Don't go there. Okay, got it, okay. Now what happens in these in-home meetings, he said to me, my sponsor, this question. He asked the difficult questions. You know what he said to me? He said, Michael, what do you think's going on in their mind before they show up? And I said, man, they want it, they're excited. He goes, no, it's not. They're scared, they're nervous, and they're trying to figure out how to say no to you. But they feel insecure and they show up. Now that you know the truth, how do we change the meeting? So you already know the guy's not going to take my card. So the first thing I say is I'll give it to you under one condition. His face changed. He wants to know the what. What do you want to know? What the condition is. Now I got him to listen. I got him to what, folks? How many of you realize if you could just get people to listen and really pay attention, they'll get the message in? But you're talking algebra with somebody that's not interested in math and has an insecurity about math. They're already insecure about money and you're asking them to spend money. How many of you get that? We got to get them over their insecurity, don't we? And how many of you realize when you get over your insecurity about money, you'll spend it better and you'll get more? So walking out of the room today, and I thought to myself, one thing Jim Rohn said. He goes, I was thinking, do I give a 5, a 10, or a 20 to the maid that I haven't met yet? And then I thought about it, and I remember what Jim Rohn said. How many of you like Jim Rohn? He said, if you give the $5, and you could have given 20, it'll bother you all day long. So I gave the 20. Now, I'll give it to you under one condition. Can you commit? And what's the C word I just said? Commit. What an interesting word. What do most people never ask people to do? Commit. So when you ask people to commit, they feel what? Obligated. How many of you realize if you start asking people to commit, you'll get farther along? How many of you get this? Okay. Will you commit that next time you're in front of your phone, what kind of phone do you have? Oh, good. Okay, we can be on the same team. Cool. All right, good. All right, good. If it's at Samsung, you have an issue. Now, your Samsung? iPhone. How many of you? iPhone for life. How many of you want to be part of when you have built a team? Like I see the Spartan team here, I see them like they're in. How many of you get that? Like they're in. Anyone Spartan here? Okay? You guys are like in. They all the same color. They're in. Okay? You have an iPhone. Next time you're in front of it, my name and phone are around here. Will you commit to sending me a message? 100%. A lot of people say they're going to do things and don't. That's not you, right? Okay. Now here's the question. See this handout? He wants this right now, doesn't he? Here's the twisted thing. It's his card, and he has 500 more of them at his house. Now, the point of why I'm saying this is not that you need to do this, and not that you need to do it with a card. Let's break this down so all of you can walk out of here understanding it. The first thing is, you need to be able to get people's, what's the A word? Attention. Once we get their attention, we need to lower the resistance and have fun with them. After we lower the resistance, we increase the receptivity, and I'll show you all how to do this here in a little bit, but he's still standing here and he wants his card back. How many of you get that? Okay, very good, my friend. Awesome stuff. Take care, everybody. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Okay, now, you wanted to dance with me? You're like, come here, we'll do that again, and then you're going to spin. And he just spun me, I'll just spin him. Okay. That was weird. All right, I'm not doing that again. Okay, so let's get into the next part of the presentation. Okay, now, let me teach you how the human brain works. How many of you have ever dealt with people you swear they weren't human? Up and down, like, man, there's got to be something wrong with him. This person screams they need the product. How many of you have dealt with that? They scream it. Look at them. Just look at them. They're walking, I need Youngevity. That woman is so bored, we've got to get her into scrapbooking. Something for her to do. She just looks so bored. I mean, she talks about her kids. She's got a million pictures. They're unorganized. This person is perfect for what it is that we're doing, but I can't get them on board. I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now, but the first thing is I want to dig deep, and I want to ask the question. I want to figure out how to get real deep with you guys about this message. How many of you have a reason for being here? How many of you have a reason for being here? Okay, I want to get a few examples of this right now and flip this. So when you wake up in the morning, how many of you would like to wake up in the morning magnetic, where you feel great about you and people just sit next to you and want to be around you that are ideal? How many of you would love that? How many of you would like to remove all the people from your life that, I don't mean your family, okay? How many of you got some family members, if we did a removal program right now, you'd sign up? All right, now, the point of this is, when it comes down to waking up inspired, waking up excited, how many of you, let's get a few people to give me this real quick, and then I'm gonna teach you how to spin this and show you how to magnetize other people at the same time. So, is anyone having fun yet? Are you guys having fun? How do I get on the Messiah team? That's awesome. All right, good, I like that. That's good stuff. All right, so let's very quickly. I have mic runners. I think I have some people with microphones. Kenny, I'll need you to stand up. Who could tell me, this is old school, and I want to know this because I'm going to teach you how to turn this to a massive marketing tool. Who has a why? Let's get a couple of whys over here. Let's get some people I don't know because they're going to think you're a plant. Okay, now, over there. Kenny, hit it. Daniel. Okay, Daniel's running. Okay, good. Let's hit it real quick. Quickly, be aggressive. Will you stand up real quick? Do you have a name?
Danny.
Oh, hey, Danny. What's up, Danny? Hey, that's Danny. Go. Hit it. Okay, so Danny, what is your why?
I'm a single mom, but I kind of heard the whole I want to be there for the first too much, and I think for some of us who don't have kids, there's lasts. And so I
Okay,
really
so
want to
just do me a favor. I know you're new to standing up in front of 250 people, so great job. Good meeting, right? It feels like it, but I'll get even better. So let me help you out real quick. What is your why?
to have freedom.
To have freedom. Okay, very good. So she says her why is to have what? Freedom. That's good. How many of you realize that's good? That's a reason. What is that, folks? Reason. That is a great reason for her. Do you have the freedom you're looking for yet?
No.
Okay, good. I'm going to help you with this right now because I want to help magnetize all of you. Let's get a couple more whys. Let's get somebody from this side. Yes, you. Do you have a why? I have a microphone for you if you have a why. Now pay attention to this because this is super important what we're about to do. This is a magnetic thing. Go ahead.
My name is Barb. I want to retire.
My name is Barb too. That's great. Okay, go ahead.
I want to retire and help my children and grandchildren.
I want to retire. I want to help my what? Children. And what are my grandchildren? Let's get one more, and then I'm going to prove a point to all of you right now. Let's get one more person. You see someone over there? Okay, over that side. Red shirt or red shirt? Pick.
My name is Daniel, and my reason why is I have 3 younger brothers, and I want to show them by example that they can do anything that they put their mind to, regardless of what anyone else says.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, I love it. Now here's the thing I learned about that. That's good. I want to turn it into exceptional. Now I didn't know this until recently, and I want to share this all right now. How to become magnetic. I like what you just said a second ago, and the reason I like that is because it wasn't about him necessarily. It was about what, folks? Other people. When your why stops being about what it is that you need to get, and it starts being about a passion, because do you think Doc Wallach is running around going, I wonder how much of this crap I can sell? Is he walking around? He's not saying that at all. I don't think he even knows what the sales volume is or knows what's going on with the company. Okay? What is his obsession? What is his why? Like, if you were to get hired by him as an assistant, his ad wouldn't say, my outcome is I want freedom in this world, and my why is to get freedom. See, his why is one that I want all of you to figure out to become an obsession here by the time you leave here. So when somebody wants to get on your team and you explain what you do, well, I'd like to explain what it is that I do. First, there's you, and then you bring in 2 people. What I'd like to explain what we do is we take these vitamins. They're nutritionals also, and no, they're not like everybody else's. What I'd like to explain what we do is we do scrapbooking, and we also have financial products, and it's really, really great, and we're getting a spice company. And last time Michelle became the spice girl. And that's what we do, and that's the fun. Yay! And they'll maybe, because they're nice and you're not magnetic yet, they're gonna say, yay! And they're gonna walk away, damn, they're crazy. Okay? To do it differently is we've got to get them on board. What do we got to do, folks? A lot of you aren't playing mind, you're not playing heart. See, what I've realized very simply is we need to start playing the heart game. We need to say, here's what my team is doing. We are obsessed, and I'm going to teach you guys this little line here in a few minutes to help all of you out, a magnetic line that's made me millions. I'm going to share with you in just 2 seconds. You ready to write? Okay. Here's what I realized. My team is obsessed with the idea that obesity in this world is not okay. My team and what we do is obsessed with the idea that people do not have enough money, and we're going to change that in the world. We're obsessed with the idea that business is too difficult for people. If you want to join what it is we're doing and be part of that, how many of you recognize when you recruit the person that says yes to that, they'll show up at convention? How many of you get that? When you recruit the person that says they want to be part of a mission, part of a movement, not your next person you bring in so you get a commission check. See, I used to look at people all the time and go, rent money? I'd look at the person over there and go, you help me pay my car payment. I'm telling you, I was insecure. I didn't know anybody. I'd look at people and go, you'll help me get to dinner next week. I need 3 of you to get me to convention. You'll handle my flight. Instead of realizing, what can I get you and how do I help you get where you want to go? See, what I realized is most of us are meeting people at excitement. Excitement's going to get people just a little bit of the way. One of the magnetic questions that I learned years ago, and this is not a prospecting tool, this is after you're sitting in front of people and you're communicating with them, I want to give you one line that all of you can use right now from this day forward to really impact your team. How many of you would like to go home to the people that you love and you care about? And how many of you would like to go home and get them on board on your mission? Here's the magic question. Cindy, what's not perfect in your life yet? So when I ask Cindy what's not perfect in her life yet, what is Cindy going to say? If we're honest, you're going to tell me the truth, right? So Cindy, you're going to tell me things about not having the energy that you want, correct? Or maybe telling me as I get older, or maybe I have challenges with my kids. And we're going to get really real with people. And how many of you recognize what Tom Chenault has mastered, and I'll talk about this more tomorrow, is how many of you agree his posts on Facebook are pretty real? How many of you realize? Sometimes really, really, really real, okay? How many of you realize they're double, triple real sometimes? But what's amazing is he also gets about 900 comments down below, doesn't he? Because people want to jump on with the what? The real. So when you ask the question, I'll ask you right now, what's your name, my friend? This is Tim, everybody, Tim! Microphone for Tim. Tim, let me ask you a question. Stand up, Tim. What's not perfect in your life yet? Now watch his reaction, everybody. Come up here real quick, Tim. Will you come up here? He's proposing to you. Okay, just go ahead, propose. I'm just kidding. It's okay. It's okay, all right. You're scared? Okay, ready? You're scared? All right, all right. Ah, no, I'm just kidding. All right, now. I'm having fun doing this, can you tell? Do you have this much fun with your business? No. I don't know if you're allowed to say this. Why the hell not? Now, okay, now, let me, oh, he just said that. I can't believe he said that. It's not as bad as the things you say to yourself. I might just use the word you didn't like, but guess what? Do you know what you say to yourselves in the morning that you shouldn't say when you look in the mirror? Yeah, don't do that. Okay, now, Tim, let me ask a question. What's not perfect in your life yet? We don't need to get all vulnerable and tell me all your life's issues, but go ahead and tell me. Because if not, I'll ask her. She'll tell me everything.
My health.
Your health. Okay, really? How does it make you feel that your health's not where you want it to be?
Frustrated.
Okay, very good. And if I can help you get over that frustration, would that be huge?
Awesome.
I want to make that my mission to help you stop feeling what? Frustrated. I may not fix his health, but I can get him to stop feeling what? Frustrated. How many of you's got that? What's not perfect in your life yet? Everybody getting this? If I help you stop feeling frustrated, you think we'll take care of the health better?
Oh, yeah.
Are you getting this?
Yes.
Grab a seat. Now, here's my question for you. Let's play a little game here real quick. I want to ask all of you a question. A lot of you think the reason you got started here, because this is what I used to think. I used to think it was the comp plan. I used to run it going, oh my gosh, you don't understand our comp plan. We have a double backflip, upside down ninja trifecta. And it's better than all the other companies out there. You wouldn't believe how good this thing is. It is incredible. You wouldn't believe it, sir. We had 3 ninjas, a warlock, and a wizard get together and build our plan. Our company's been debt-free for 45,000 years. Our founders are 750 million years they've been in business together. How many of you heard these things before? And we think it excites people. And you think it excites them. But here's what really excites them. Getting real with them. So I want you to think about the reason you got started in this business. Typically, you're going to say, I like the products. That's not your reason. Typically, you're going to say things like, I like the company. It's not the reason. You're going to say, I like the comp plan. Not the reason. I wanted to make money. It is not your reason. Your real reason for getting started is the same for everybody. And here it is. And this is the thing that I learned to master to really become a magnet of people. I learned that if you understand the people inside of this, the number one reason that everyone got started is you were looking to solve a problem. You were looking to solve a what, folks? Frankie Pulley, sitting right here, why he got into direct sales. He's on the police force. He's going to retire one day. The products, he liked them. He knew that helped people. He got behind the passion. Am I correct about this? When we first met? Okay, everybody, Frankie Pulley right here. Stand up, Frankie. Okay. And here's the reason he got started. Because one day he was going to retire in the police force, and the pension's great, but it's not going to buy him that beautiful house he wants. How many of you understand that? He got started because everything was okay, but he wanted it to be what? More. There's never been a person, if I could check the DNA of everybody that got started in this business, there's never been a person that ever got started, not one, because everything was great in their life and they wanted more. You want to watch people quit? You want to watch people drop off? Get them excited, but don't hook into their heart. So what we need to start doing as leaders, start hooking into people's hearts. And how we hook into their hearts is very simple. We hook into their hearts by asking the difficult questions. What's not perfect in your life yet? What's not perfect in your business yet? What's not where it is that you want it to be? How many of you are learning something right now? If you are, say, I am. I want to make certain you are. If you're not, you can raise your hand and go, I'm not getting it all. All right. So the point of all this is I want all of you to have the capacity and the ability to pull this off. To pull it off is to be easy, have fun. So we need to make certain we do something simple. We've been here about, 45 minutes or so to an hour. We got to play a little game. What's the thing you guys said a few minutes ago? What's the word you said? Let's. Do it one more time? Let's. One more time? One more time? And the reason we need to let's go is you've got to push through the tough days. Because if you can't sit through 45 minutes in a seat and learn, you're not going to get through it Tuesday. How many of you ever had somebody say to you, I'm interested, and then change their mind? Anyone ever had that? Okay. I want to show you how to make this work. So when somebody says to you, what's not perfect in your life, and he says, I'm frustrated. A month later, my man calls and says he wants to quit. How many of you ever had somebody say they want to quit? How many of you wanted to kill them on the other end of the phone? How many of you are calculating, do you know how many hours I have spent trying to convince you to do this business? Because you were what, folks? You were convincing instead of what? Helping. So about a month later, I said, dude, did you really want that frustration to stay with you for the rest of your life, or are we still working on this thing? How many of you recognize that's how you protect your residual income? How many of you understand what I just did? That's how you protect it. Next thing I want to share with you. Now, does anybody have a question thus far? Anybody have a question thus far? Questions, comments, concerns? Some of these guys are going to another session. Now, the next thing I want to cover is this. How many of you would love people to start chasing you down? Anybody want this straight out of my prospecting audience? How many of you want people to start chasing you down? No, I mean chase you down. Like, will you just stand up real quick? Will you just chase me? Ah! Okay, no. That's grabbing a hold. Okay, no grabbing. There's my wife. You gotta fight her. There's a problem. But let's pretend you're chasing me. Okay, this is most network marketing. I'm gonna chase you. And you see a reaction? Scared. Okay, so what I'm gonna teach you is a little thing that I taught years ago. And I'll give it to you guys right now. It's a simple idea that you guys can do to magnetize what you do. And it works like this. It's about getting people's attention. Getting their what? The first thing you do is you get naked. Okay, I totally get it. Now, some of you are like, can we start now? Okay, now, it's a little thing you can write down on a piece of paper called APR. Everybody write it down? Now, this is going to make you like an APR. Any bankers here? What's an APR, typically? Annual percentage of rate, not return, how much they're going to make. This is the reverse APR. It's something I call the automatic profitable response. Now, how many of you would like to be more profitable? How many of you would like to start running this like a business so you have money at the end of the month? How many of you would like to see those checks getting bigger? Okay, now let's play with this right now. Here's what an automatic profitable response is. Let's play a little game. I want to go back in time with you. Now, I remember when I was a kid, I don't know if anyone's about my age, I used to go to a store when I was a kid called Chess King. Does anybody remember that? At the mall? Okay. And I used to walk in, and they trained their sales reps. Remember that place? They trained their sales reps to walk up and ask this fascinating question. Can I help you? And what was my automatic response? No, I'm just looking. And they kindly bowed out. How many of you would agree that's not the appropriate question to ask? I trained a group of people when they do like convention space to ask questions instead of like, can I help you? To ask the question is, what would you like to see happen today? You do something different than what people expect. Now, here's what an automatic profit response looks like. How many of you have ever done this before? Dreamed that somebody would ask you what you do so you could tell them. Let me tell you what I used to do back in the day when I was broke and I didn't have much going on in my business. I used to hang out because I asked myself, who's my ideal client? I'm looking for business owners. I'm looking for what? Where do business owners go? Staples. Office Max. I was a stalker. And I used to walk through the aisles like this, and some of you have had crazy ideas like this. Like, how many of you had a crazy idea, like how many flyers can I put on a car? Does that work for anyone? Anyone that ever called off that, they just want to talk to you forever. So I walked through Staples, and as I'm walking through Staples one day, I would go like this, and I'd say, ahem, because that gets people's what? I can never find what I need for my business here. What was I hoping people asked me? And people at the store, people would look at me like I'm crazy, but then every once in a while somebody would come in and they'd ask me the question, so what do you do? And I'd say, I'm glad you asked. Do you have 45 minutes and a pen and paper? And they would leave scared, nervous, and paranoid. And then I learned the automatic profit response from one of my mentors. He didn't call it that then. He called it, say this because it works. He was a little bit less sophisticated. This guy that taught me how to make millions never got through 5th grade. How he got out of school, that's a whole other story in himself. The guy didn't even speak great English, but he said, this will work, just say this. But because I was like Steve and Michelle, I didn't know any better, and he scared me, I just said it. So I would say, when somebody asks me to explain their business, like I'll ask you, Cheryl, and Cheryl's like, why did I take an NCAP? Cheryl's like one of those people, but if you can't talk to me, the one guy in the room that helps the Wallachs and thousands of other people in this company, who are you going to talk to? So Cheryl, will you stand up real quick? Everybody, Cheryl! Now, Cheryl's about to have a peak emotional experience. Cheryl, how often do you speak in front of 250 people?
All the time.
Do you really? How often do you punch somebody in front of 250 people? All right, now, Cheryl, I'll ask the question like most people ask, and I'll ask you right now. Cheryl, what do you do? And just tell me what you normally would say.
I run a farm.
How many of you really say, oh my God, you run a farm? Tell me everything about it. I know one guy that'll like that, because he grew up on a farm. Oh my God, you have a farm? Tell me all about your farm.
Okay.
That's not going to happen, is it? Most people are going to say, oh, okay, that's cool. What else you got?
Horses, chickens.
Am I interested? Is she speaking for interest or speaking to speak?
Speaking to speak.
She's doing what all human beings do. We talk to talk and we don't realize it. One of my mentors taught me a long time ago, pretend your tongue is the meter in a taxi, because there was no Uber back then. They can have meters now where you just get billed with your credit card. You know. How many of us have become so immune to paying attention to money because we don't use it anymore? Like, who knows what they're charging you at Uber? So if every minute you speak, it's flapping your tongue, and every minute you speak, it's flapping, it's costing you a lot of money. So that farm thing cost you bringing in a great person. The farm thing cost you being interesting. Now, what if you said this? Very simply, now I don't own a farm, but I'm going to pretend, okay? I got 3 ducks. What do they have in farms? Old McDonald? EIO. Now, I'm going to pretend I have a farm for a minute. I'm going to say this. Ask me what I do.
What do you do?
No, I'm going to secretly evoke the part of her brain that creates interest by asking the one thing that all of you need to learn to ask. And if you don't do this today, you are foolish. Here it is. Do you know how? When you say, do you know how, guard comes down. Because you're about to ask him a what? Question. And nobody wants to feel silly. So I'll say to you, do you know how when you go to the grocery store and you go to the dairy aisle, there's always stuff that you need there? My company supplies that. Now you're going to say what? Really? What do you mean? Or how do you do that? We're actually having a conversation. Now I know a lot of you aren't familiar with what a conversation is. So I figured I'd help you with what a conversation is. Here's what a conversation is. Two people talking about something with mutual what? Interest. You don't try to sell right away and go, Youngevity! And knock them out. Because that's what I used to do. After my third stint in San Quentin, I realized you can't hit people anymore. I'm totally kidding. Now, but she's what right now? What is she doing? Laughing, which means I'm drugging her. Ask Dr. Wall, can explain. Dopamine is leaking from her brain. And she's feeling really, really good right now. So instead of saying, grab a seat real quick, instead of somebody saying, I'm a network marketer, I'm in Youngevity, I say, are you having fun, Sarah? You having fun? He's like taking this in, he goes, I'm doing my whole life wrong. Okay? Please don't be those people. A lot of people watch me and they go, I can't do what he does. If you repeat after me. You ready? Do you know how? Just say it. She said no. Say, do you know how? Will you say it? Do you know how? Do you know how? Now here's a good one. Do you know how as you get older, it seems like you have less energy? How many of you can agree with that? I'll teach you a little secret about influence, and this is something I know Steve and Michelle love that I teach. When three things are true, the fourth is automatically true. How many of you would like it if I send you a little video later that teaches you how to pretty much never have to explain your product ever again after that? I'll send it home to you guys. You guys like that idea? And not have to explain it, but get people to want to buy? Anybody like that? I'll give you guys that later. Remind me, I'll take care of that later. Deborah, you gotta give me a time check too, at some point. Okay, so I would say this. Do you know how the older we get, it seems like we have less energy? Now, tell me one person that's ever gonna say, nope, I'm 65 and I have more energy than I did when I was 12. That's a liar. Tom Chanel, no, Tom was 12, Tom was crazy too. Now, okay, so when you say, do you know how, what is somebody gonna say? I do know how. What are they gonna say? I do know how. Well, my company has a few products that help people feel even younger, okay, as they get older. Now, we gotta check with the FTC if we're allowed to say that, but I think we are, because the energy is up to the what? The mind of the person. We didn't say weight loss, we didn't say guaranteeing anything. We said, do you know how, Alan, as we get older, it feels like you have less energy?
Yes.
Well, my company does, we help give people a lot of that energy back. Now, he's probably gonna say, how do you what? Do that. So I'd love to share it with you. If you got a few minutes, we can talk, but I don't have much time right now. Now, how many of you realize I left him interested? I left him what? Interested. How many of you would agree if we only talk to interested people, life gets easier? How many of you agree with that? Okay, our job is to talk to what? Interested people. So we walk the earth making people interested. Now, if you stack that, what I just said, with why you do what you do, and you say it like this, do you know how as we get older as people, we have less time and less energy? My company is obsessed with creating products that give people more time and more energy back. What is our company? What's the L word? How many of you realize how powerful that is? How many of you are catching on? Okay. Now, a lot of you are in that thinking mode. Go, could I say this? Could I really say this to people? Here's the simple answer. Yes. But we're going to have to bring out our confidence. And we're going to have to start making it necessary. We're going to have to start making it what, folks? I want to make this necessary for all of you to have the ability to do. So let's talk about this right now. How do we build confidence, she asks. What did she ask? How to build? Now, how many of you would agree Tom Chanel is a confident man? How many of you agree Michelle Wallach didn't even know she was introducing me up here earlier? How many of you would say that was flawless confidence? How many of you realize that? Just say it again and say flawless confidence. Everybody say it? Flawless confidence. I want that for you as well. So the magic question came up a minute ago. They said, how do you become more confident? Now, how many of you in this room feel that if you were more confident, more people would want to get involved with you? How many of you feel that way? How many of you realize that part of magnetism is confidence? How many of you would agree I at least appear confident? How many of you would agree I am one of those people that appears confident, am confident, but still have days where I lack confidence? How many of you agree with that? How many of you know that before I got up here, I still had to think this thought that's been in my life my whole life? What if it doesn't work? What if they don't like me? What if I say the wrong thing? What if it goes wrong? How many of you realize that went in my head? How many of you recognize that doesn't go away? What we do is we learn how to deal with it. How many of you recognize that the person you're looking to prospect, guess what? Guess what they do? They have the same thoughts in their head. What if this works? What if it doesn't work? What if my wife gets mad? What if she finds out? What if she gets to the mailbox before I get there and sees the credit card receipt? How many of you pulled that one and you're in the business? If they're here next to you, don't write down your name. Okay, so you asked how to build your confidence. Now, I didn't have that built into my presentation today, but I thought I could help you with that right now. How many of you would love to be so confident that the people, and we'll talk about this a little bit tonight. How many of you would love to be so confident that the people you really, 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 really care about that know need Youngevity get on board? How many of you would like to be so confident that you say what you need to say to pull off what you need to pull off? How many of you would love that? How many of you would love the ability to bring confidence out? Now, where does confidence come from? A lot of times people say the mini bar in the hotel room. Other people say my confidence comes when everything's going great with my kids. Sometimes people say confidence comes from when I know when I'm doing great, when my business is booming. It's not where confidence comes from. Confidence comes from when you believe in yourself. Now, I'm going to teach you guys a little technique that I know that can help other people do this by reverse engineering this right now. How many of you would love, you say it out loud, left? Okay, very good. Till 4? Till 3? Till 3? Oh, 3:30. Okay, very good. Okay, everybody, congratulations. You've been in here 90 minutes listening to us talk. All right. So let me reverse engineer this right now and show you this little thing that I learned a long time ago that'll help you. How about we take the pressure off ourselves and we show other people how to be confident themselves? How many of you would be cool if I don't turn this on you, but I help you show other people that it's okay to be confident and make a decision? Make a what? Decision. You can write this down in your notebooks or write it down permanently in your brain. The biggest disconnect from where you are to where you want to go is your ability or inability to make a decision. If you didn't hear what I just said, the most important word is the last word. What's the word? Decision. How many of you have done what I've done before? You've got in your car and you were deciding where it is you were going to go eat. How many of you have done that? And you decided while you were driving. And you said, I don't want to go to that place. And you drove in circles for 45 minutes only to go back to the first place. What you were doing at that moment is you were having trouble making a what? Decision. So when we are talking to people, when we're wanting to communicate the message, our job is to get them into a confident, decisive mode. So do we get people in a confident, decisive mode talking about something they don't understand? Or is it best to talk about things people already understand? So I'm going to show you this right now, and I'm going to need somebody who's never worked with me before to help me out right now. And this is an example. It can't be you, Michelle, okay? I can help her, and if she wants to play along, you're making her do it. Do you want to? All right, come up here real quick. All right, good, all right. This is Michelle Waller exerting her influence, saying, get up there now. Okay, very good, all right. What's up, girl? You want to announce yourself to the audience?
My name is Sonal.
Say it like you mean it.
My name is Sonal.
Say it like you're a movie star.
My name is Sonal.
Spin it like you're a movie star. Say it again.
My name is Sonal.
All right, good. Feels good, doesn't it? All right, cool. Now let me ask you a question. Now, can you come up here? Because this is where you need to be. Let's come up here. You meet me up here. You go that way, I'll go this way. I'm just kidding. Stairs are over here. Come on. Now we're going to play a little game right now. Is she comfortable or not comfortable? Are you comfortable or not? Okay, are you nervous or excited?
Excited. Excited.
But you're nervous.
Yes.
Okay, uncomfortable. How often do you stand in front of 250 people at your friend's company, in front of a room, and have no idea what's going to happen next, and the guy's going to make you disappear or saw you in half? How often does this happen?
Not very often.
Okay, very good. So this is us in the morning, or this is your prospect. They may pretend, like, can you fake it that you're excited? Just fake it.
I'm so excited.
That's fake. But inside, what she's really saying is, oh crap, what's about to happen next? Okay? Shoot, what's going to happen next, right? Okay, so I'm going to do something called go into her brain. Where am I going? Does anybody have a hacksaw? Does anybody have a scalpel? Are there any brain surgeons in here? Okay, good. So I'm going to do it with words, and all of you have a chance to do this. Now pay attention, because this is confidence. I'm going to make her more confident. Now, I can walk up and tell you all about Youngevity, and that's not really going to interest you. Or I can ask you a different kind of question. Has there ever been something you've been very excited about? Sure. Tell me one thing.
My daughter?
So, I know she's your daughter. What do you love about your daughter? Now, does anyone see that? Did anyone see it? What just happened? She's transforming in front of us. Does anybody get it? Okay, what did I ask her? Now, your daughter, so let me ask you a question. What do you get excited about in your daughter, other than she's yours? Give me a moment that she got you really, like you got really excited about it. Something she's done, or
I mean, I just love when she wakes up in the morning and says, I love you, Mommy.
feels great, doesn't it? Does she feel better or worse right now? Okay, great. Then I'm gonna ask you this question. You're in business?
Yes.
Okay, great. Have you ever done business with somebody you really enjoyed doing business with?
Yes.
Who was that? That's not in this room.
Patience?
Really, like, tell me about one of your patients you enjoyed doing business with.
Like procedures or?
No, take me to a vendor. You have a vendor you work with that you really like?
No.
Okay, so you have no one you ever bought something from, you ever buying from, like a car, bought anything? Purse, car, clothes?
Vendor-wise for my work?
Or maybe life. Somebody you enjoy buying from.
Yes, I do enjoy buying from certain places.
Give me one place you like buying from.
Nordstrom's.
What do you like about Nordstrom's?
The service?
Is there someone there you like going to?
Not in particular.
But when you go there, how do you feel?
Like they want me to be there?
Okay, to make you feel important.
Right.
So if I were to make you feel important, what would I have to do? Who's she thinking about right now? She's thinking about me or she's thinking about Nordstrom's? Why would I rather her think about Nordstrom's than me? She's already bought from Nordstrom's, hasn't she? She hasn't bought from me yet, has she? But you're in Nordstrom's, so tell me something you bought from Nordstrom's that you enjoyed. Now, where'd she go? Back to what? Are you getting this?
Yes.
So you're not in this room anymore.
Right.
You're picking out purses, or shoes. I don't know if women really walk like that, but I would just picture that. Just shoes. For guys who are like, give me what I need. Let me get out of here, right? But you know, like take your friends, hang out, got champagne, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I wish.
A wish, okay, good. So anyways, that's what I want to talk to you about today. If I can make this go as smooth as Nordstrom's, is that okay?
Yes.
And if I get off track and it's not like Nordstrom's, you let me know.
Okay.
Who's in control right now? I am. Who's getting the experience she wants? She is. Who feels confident to be with me right now? Did I explain the product at all? How many of you realize she's way farther along than normal? Here's alternative. Let me tell you all about Youngevity. Can I break down all the nutritional minerals and all of, like, see your face? I'm gonna humor him because my mom said to be polite. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Is that great? Grab a seat. Okay. Now, what I want to do in my last 15 minutes or so, before I do questions and answers for you guys is, was that good? Was that helpful? You shop with her? Be careful, it's dangerous. Steve, do not let them hang out. Okay, it's dangerous to the bank account. Now, okay, so in the last 15 minutes, before I get into like some Q&A here right now, I want to ask all of you a question. How many of you would agree we've got to get better with people? How many of you agree with that? Okay, we've got to get way better with people. How many of you would agree if you were better with people, this would all be easier? How many of you get that? Okay, I want to find out how we can get to do that. So I'm going to play a little game here right now called Scenario. What's the game called? Scenario. Let's play Scenario. This is not for me to talk about me, it's for me to help you. So who's got a situation that you'd like help with other than beating your neighbor over the head and making them buy? Okay, who's got a situation or a question on anything that I said in the last few minutes that would help you? I'm going to break it down all right now. The APR is asking the question, do you what? Know how. What is the question? Do you what? Know how. The magic question to ask is, what's not perfect in your life yet? What's the most important word at the end? Yet. Why is that word so important? Because it presupposes things to get what? Better. Our job is to help people have more fun. Have people have more what? Fun. And all of us in this room, if you want more confidence, I'll say it like it is, you have to get good at making I can't get it out. Decisions. And so many people come up to me, I'd love to do it, and I'm good at deciding, and what's the last word that comes out? And they get a big one of them. But. Now, why do they do that? Because they're really not good at making decisions, they're trying to fake it. Okay? So, does anybody have any questions on anything I shared? If not, I want to give you the last little tip that I think will help you guys in a big way. A couple of things that you can do to make a major difference. Because how many of you would like some magnetic words to make anybody say yes to you? Anybody want that? I'll give them to you right now in a second. Would you have a question first? Who had a question? I heard someone had a question. I heard a rumor. You guys don't have a question? People pay me tens of thousands of dollars to ask me questions, and you get it for free as part of the convention with no questions. Okay, you want to ask? What do you got? Which question?
Family. When it comes to family.
Stand up and get a microphone quickly. We don't have a lot of time. Danielle, Deborah, I need 10? 15. Cool. Head.
When I talk to my family.
Microphone?
Apparently not. Yeah, there it goes. When I talk to my family about this, I can't even get them to.
Because you talk to your family, you're not present with your family, and you're not telling them how much you care, you're forcing it on them. Does that make sense?
No, my dad asked me what I did, and I explained it, and he said.
So you probably explained it. So if your dad asked me what I did, I would say, do you know how as we get older we feel like we have less energy? And did you know how, Dad, I'm on a mission right now that I found a few people out there that have solutions to things that most people don't have on the planet. And all I'm looking for is a few people that want to feel better in this world. And if he says no, guess what? He's not what? Interested. And that's okay. It's okay. It took me 2 years to come along. I had a guy driving he had a Rolls Royce, he had an Aston Martin, he had a fancy house, and I had nothing, and I knew better for 2 years. I'll tell him what to do. What do you know, buddy? Fancy life, fancy car, fancy house. I'm broke, miserable. What do you got? You getting this? You got to use the techniques. What is the first technique? We're going to lower their what? Resistance. What if, my wife said this to me, she goes, every presentation you do, Michael, if you could just get a little better than the last one, that's all it's about. How many of you realize you're going to be stinky poopy at this at first? How many of you get that? You're not going to be so good when you first get started, and it's about repetition. It's about getting involved and making this part of your life. You guys mentioned Jim Rohn. Here's the difference between possibly me and you. I'm like obsessive. I've heard The Art of Exceptional Living 2,700 times. And guess what? 25 years old, pennies in my pocket, nothing in the bank, creditors going. Guess what, Michael? I am 21 years old. I got 4 years to catch up. I was 22 when I was broke. I was 23 and I was broke. Finally, I got the money. But what happened is I listened to it enough times till it sunk in. It isn't about being here for the 2 hours in the session. It's about getting an obsession and making this part of who it is that you are. When a woman says, I want to be more confident, it becomes an obsession on them. It's making sense. So you're talking to your dad. We have to connect with your dad. Does that make sense? And if he's not interested, let him go and move on to someone else that is. Maybe one day when he finds out that Alf from the 80s is taking Youngevity. Anyone want to recruit Alf? Gordon Shumway. All right. How many remember Alf? That's called random, what I just did, and it's called a pattern interrupting. Congratulations, that's one of the things that I do, and I have ADD. It means adynamic disorder. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? I saw one other question. Yes, I'll take one back there. Yes, sir. Sir that beat his family over the head and made him do it. Yes.
Okay.
Is it on? Okay. You have a bunch of
All the
notes.
people that we blew it with after talking to you, here to you, how do we go back?
When I go back to people that I blew it with, I like to apologize. What do? Well, you usually go back as like it didn't work with a sledgehammer, and you watch 3 hours straight of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you go, I know exactly how to get them. And I heard Frankie Pulley originally was in the SWAT team, I'll bring him with a rifle. Then I show up. No. You call up and you own it. You'd say, forgive me. What's the word you say? It might have been something I said or how I said it. I feel like I didn't give you a chance. Now think of what I just said. Think of the magic of the words. I feel like I didn't give you what? And then nobody doesn't want to get a chance, do they? I think I didn't give you a chance because everybody wants a what? Chance, okay? I feel like I didn't give you a chance to fully experience how great things could be. They still have no idea what you're talking about. Because when I explained my business to you, I was excited, I was immature, I didn't know any better, and I was just like a kid that just got out of Bible camp and wanted to tell everybody. And that was me. How many of you know what I'm talking about? How many of you ever had somebody run out of Bible camp walk up to you, you're like, dude, I'm already in, leave me alone. Anyone ever had that? You see what I'm saying? So all I can ask for is 5 minutes to show you why I'm so obsessed with this. How many of you realize if you did that to 10 people, all of you, when you went home, 1 or 2 of them would do something? How many of you are getting this? How many of you recognize you owe it to them? What do you folks, what do? You owe it to them. I'll take one more question, and I'll teach you one last thing, and then we're going to call it a day. I think I got 10 minutes left and we're done. So any other questions? How many found that helpful? If you did say I did. How many of you, better question, I don't care that you learn that. Here's where Michael gets tough. Who's going to do it? It's all about implementation. What's it about? Implementation. I want you to implement. That's the big thing. So time for one more question, and then I'm going to do my last thing. And how many of you wish you could just bring me to every meeting with you? How many of you would like that? Hi, I'd like to introduce you to my twin brother, Michael. Hi. I would love that too. Who else had any questions? So one more. Fight! No, I'm just kidding. Go. Nothing personal. If you get insecure or get abandonment issues over, it's not my fault. We talked to Doc Wallach about it. Okay, very good. Now,
My question is...
are you having fun?
Yes.
Are you enjoying this?
Yes.
Is this different?
Yes.
I like different.
Me too.
So what do you got?
How do you know the difference between whether somebody is not interested in what you're saying, or...
Humoring you.
Huh?
Or humoring you?
You know, like you try to convince what?
I don't try to convince anybody. I try to talk them out of it.
Wrong word.
Listen, I'm going to spend the next... Hold on. Okay. I'm going to spend the next decade of my life building a team with this person. I want the right person. That whole, let's find the magic person that one day goes from being broke to being rich. I let other people find that person. I find the person that really wants it. I find someone that really wants the product. Because guys, imagine you were going to sell this business in 20 years that you built. Would you want good quality long-term customers? Or would you want someone that's wishy-washy? So I like to ask. So when somebody tells me how much does it cost to get started in the business, I'd say, well, there's the sticker price and probably what you'll spend this year. It's probably about $4,000 because you got to come to a couple conventions. You have to buy some product. You have to get some gas and stuff in your car. If you can't handle that, probably shouldn't do that. Let's just start you on the products. That's called real, what I just said. Did anybody catch that? When I started saying that to people, it was 2,000 back when I said it. When I started saying that to people, it really made a difference. To the right person, not to someone that has $50. So ask your question one more time. Me too. Okay. So she said, what happens? I like that. But what you really meant is, how do you know the difference between someone that really wants it and someone that doesn't?
Right.
I do this thing that's really, really complicated. And I'll say it. You can write it down because you might forget. I do this thing, it's 3 letters, I call it ask. A-S-K. What do I do? I ask. You know why I ask? Because you don't know until you what? I like to ask. I like to ask everybody. So here's something I learned from someone that Steve and Michelle and I are dear friends with outside of this. And she taught me this line years ago. I stole it from her. She said it once to me because I tried to recruit her and then she tried to recruit me. And she said this. She goes, how would you like to proceed from here? That's a good question. So instead of saying, do you want to do this? I say, how? And then you know what they always do? They always throw it back at you. So when I said, what do you recommend? I recommend you sign up now. How would you like to what? Proceed from here. How would you like to what? Proceed from here. If you use one of these lines I'm sharing with you, it's not like a tactical line, it's a way of living. And you might say, so how would you like to proceed from here? Or what do you think is a good option to proceed from here? And you know what they're always going to say? What do you recommend? How many of you would like it thrown back in your court? Anybody like that? Well, here's what I recommend, and you take off your jacket, and we get to work. How many of you are having fun right now? If you want to say I am. All right. So I got one last thing to share. We'll call it a day. I'm going to get that little video out to you guys later. I got to remember got to put the ADD off and remind you to do that. I'll be talking tonight too. So when I come on stage tonight, will you guys help me out? Will you guys be the loudest group? And I'll say, they saw me this morning. How many of you like that? That's to help me with my confidence. Let's hear it one more time. The reason I need that is I want you to do that for me and I'll do it right back for you. Okay? And the reason is you give me something, I give you something. We mutually connect and we make this happen. So I want to share this little idea with all of you, and it's a really, really cool thing that I think will be able to help all of you out. I'm going to give you a metaphor right now, a story that all of you can use anytime you want. Stick with me for the next couple of minutes, and I'll tell you a little plan, because how many of you would like some help pulling all this off? How many of you would like some help? Yeah. Okay, first off, how about a hand for Steve and Michelle for randomly me coming out here? And me, I've been playing with this for years because I'd get like a 5-minute time slot and I'd get up and go, huh, and then I'd get thrown off. Okay? So I want to keep this real simple, what I'm going to say right now. And here's a little metaphor that I think will help all of you out. And you can use this in your business and it'll help you in a major way. Then I'm going to show you how to do something that the Wallachs and Chanel and Pulley and everybody in here and all the top leaders and thousands of other people in this company had a chance to do. How many of you would like some help from me getting where you want to go? How many of you like some help? Okay? I'm going to ask you to make a decision when you are in this room, and the reason why, when I was at an event years ago, a guy asked a simple question. He said, what do you think the most important thing you do here? And I said, learn. He said, wrong answer. He said, decide something different. He goes, when you leave here, it's early enough in the event that if you know you make decisions today that help you get where it is that you want to go, and you can walk through the rest of your day going, I got it, I know what I need to do next, I got someone that's got my back, because one of the most courageous things in the world that you can do is let somebody help you. How many of you realize you think you lack courage and need help? I have coaches, I have mentors, I have masterminds. I spend $100,000 plus a year going to events and being in places to get help, and I'm the guy people come to for help. How many of you realize that we need to make certain to make it a priority? How many of you get that? If you say I do. Find ways to get that while you're here. So here's the metaphor, here's the quick story. And it was a social experiment, a science experiment that was done, and they grabbed a bunch of people together. And here's what they did. They had people come up for a little research thing, and all they had to do is choose a door. What they have to do, folks? Choose a door. So they showed up in Madison Avenue in New York City, where all the fancy stuff happens, and showed up in Madison Avenue, and the guy walks in and goes, I'm here for the study. So the lady said, fill out this clipboard. He fills out the clipboard full of a bunch of different things, and he sits down. The lady then calls his name and goes, are you ready for the study? The guy says, yeah, I'm ready for the study. So the lady goes, go through that door. And the door said opportunity. What did the door say? Opportunity. How many of you realize when you got started in this business, you joined an opportunity? How many of you understand that? Did you join a guarantee or you joined an opportunity? Guarantee on the products, opportunity whether you'd use them. How many of you understand that? Guarantee on quality, guarantee on cutting edge, opportunity if you do something with it. The next door said male or female. He's a man, he might have been thinking, I wonder what's in there, but he walked through the man door. The next door said, and this is where things got interesting, the top of the door said choices. What did it say? One door said introvert, one door said extrovert. He knew he wants to be an extrovert. He knew internally he holds back. How many of you hold back in here? I hold back. We all hold back. I play smaller than I need to very, very often. Bigger than most, so you don't see it. But compared to what Michael Bernoff's capable of, I do not do a piece of what I should be doing. How many of you can relate to what I just said? He goes to the introvert door because that's where he belongs. Next door says, income, 100 grand a year, up, or less than 100 grand a year. He goes, well, I made 80 on my taxes last year, plus my little side business. And he walks through the door that says under $100,000 a year, and he winds up back on Madison Avenue. He goes, I think something's wrong. So he walks around front of the place again, and he walks back inside, and he's back inside of the event, and he's back inside. You know what happens? Says the lady, I think something went wrong. He goes, fill out the paperwork again. He walks through the door. You want to do it again? Walks through the door, says opportunity. What does it say? Opportunity. Walks through the door, like a lot of us walked in opportunity. Next door is male, female. He knows it's inappropriate to go in the female door, walks in the male door. Next is introvert and extrovert. So he sits down on a little couch outside, like most people do, and he watches. And he watches a few people walk in the extrovert door. He can see people in there having fun and laughing and smiling, making things happen and this and that. So he steps into a door that's uncomfortable for him. And he goes in that door, and another thing above it says income. Makes over $250,000 a year. Makes over $500,000 a year. And he thinks about, what do I do? I'm in the wrong place. Which one do I step through? Now, if you think about this right now, all of us have to walk through a door that we're not familiar with. If you wake up every morning and you keep on walking through the door you normally walk through, like lack of confidence door, lack of communication door, not as effective as I need to door, you don't wind up in a different place. How many of you are willing to get a little bit uncomfortable to get what you want? How many of you are willing to do that? How many of you recognize you did the first step by being here right now? Now it's about implementing, becoming more, and making things happen. I want to help all of you pull this off. And I realize, if you remember earlier what I said my obsession is, my obsession, the reason I got out of direct sales as a full-time thing for me is, my obsession, my purpose in this world is to make this easier for you. So when Michelle and Steve tell me that they want to get that place in Coronado and they want that new house, it becomes my obsession then. When somebody tells me they want to bring in 3 new people in the business, it becomes my obsession then. When somebody tells me they want to get rid of the confidence issues they have, like how many of you would love to get rid of those? It becomes my obsession then. And I take it on with you and I help you get where it is that you want to go. So I want to challenge all of you to really think about what it is you want to do. And in the next few minutes, you have an opportunity because the doors are there. There'll be another person coming in about 5 minutes. And I'm just going to challenge all of you to really decide what it is you want to do. You can take a couple of minutes and decide. I know that, how many of you enjoyed this so far? If you did, say I did. Okay. Here's my challenge. I'm going to make this really simple for you. There's me, how to become a magnet, attract more people into your Youngevity business. How many of you are willing to use at least one thing I taught you? If you are, say I am. Yeah. More importantly, I want you to do something with it. So all of you are going to turn into a magnet, okay? And how you turn into a magnet is, you become all of you. I recognized a long time ago, you can't be me, you could finally be you. How many of you realize there's a whole other level inside and you're maybe B 5'10", 5'7", 5'6", 5'4", 4'11", 6'8", my man here 7'1", whatever it is, rebound man. Now, what's interesting about it is, how many of you would like to play all of you? The only way to play all of you is you've got to step up to the plate, do what needs to get done. So, got a little gift for you guys if you're interested. I put a little text service together. You can write down this number. This is fun. How many of you would like a very simple influence video? How many of you would love that? If you would, say I would. All you got to do is type Youngevity. How many of you could spell Youngevity? Everybody say it out loud. How do you spell it? Youngevity. So write down the number, take a picture of it, send a message to that number. It's going to be really cool. Michelle and Steve, you're going to like this service. It's really cool. It talks back to you. So it says, hey, what's your name? Where are you from? What are you going to do later for dinner? Okay? It helps you make a decision. So 202-759-4210. And then type Youngevity to it. You don't need to put the exclamation points or like quotes or anything. The next thing is, and I did not know how many people were going to show up for my session, because when you come sometimes from insecurity, you think 50 people are going to be there. I didn't know it was going to be 200 people, and I didn't realize 2,500 people are going to be here tonight. So what I share with you next is very limited, so I'm going to ask you to pay attention, because I don't have enough for everybody here, and I want to work out something special for this whole 20th celebration. Is how many of you would love the ability to know words that can make anybody say yes? How many of you would love that? I'll give them to you right now. What's on those audios? All you have to do is you could tell somebody, hey, you want this? Or I could say, sir, naturally you'll see the potential. And when you say the word naturally to people, you know what happens? They go like this. 21 words to make anybody say yes. The big audio in there is what to say when. How many of you would like the simplest, most powerful objection? Like when someone says, how many of you ever heard I don't have the money? Anyone ever heard that? What do most people say when they say I don't have the money? But why not? You know what I say? I totally see why you might say that. Now when you say this, you diffuse. What do you do, folks? You diffuse. If anyone's interested in this, I only have about 30 of this set. If you're interested here, I did not bring enough. For the weekend, it's $129 if you're interested. The next thing I have is my entire 20 years of my brain, 30 hours about of audios, videos, and trainings, all downloaded. How many of you would like to take my brain with you? Anybody want that? So what I did is, they got complicated to carry, so I found a way to put it all in one. It's in a USB. How many of you think it would be powerful if you're about to go to a meeting to have one of my confidence audios inside of your brain? How many of you would love that? How many of you would like you're about to go to a meeting like people in this room and you pop onto 21 words to make anybody say yes on the way over to the meeting and close more sales? How many of you would like that? This thing is tiny. It's a USB. And you get, oh, sorry about that. You got reaction time, girl. It's this big. 20 years on a drive. I thought I was more powerful than that. 20 years. Normally it's $500 for this. It's $249 if you're interested. If you heard me today, Steve, Michelle, I think what they said earlier should make it work, but here's the real goal. How many of you would like the ability to work with me live? How many of you think if you spend a few hours with me next week, we spend a couple hours in the morning or a couple hours at night, live with me, how many of you think if I kicked your butt and held your hand and helped you get there, how many think you get there quicker? Anybody think so? How many of you have the courage to let somebody help you? How many of you have that? So I want to just throw this at you. This is called Strategic Influence. Originally it's my call to action program, but I call it Strategic Influence for this reason. How many of you would love the ability to influence yourself and other people? How many of you would love that? More importantly, how many of you would like to influence yourself to do the things that you want to do? Here's my gift. Not just knocking off that price in half for $299, which is embarrassing because I was offering more than that 10 years ago. I was charging $400. Here's my little gift to you. 20 years of experience. I have 80 of these here. 20 years of experience, sales, marketing, explanation, confidence, audio's on here, everything. Any of you that decide to take that program, I'm going to give you guys this as well. So I have 80 of these here. If you guys want to be the first to get them, you can go see my team in the back. I don't want to sell you anything. You've got to sell yourself. You've got to decide what it is that you want to do. If Steve and Michelle have the ability to bring me in here, and they talked to me and made it happen, they want this for you. My outcome is very simple. It's cute that we're at our 20 year this year. How many of you are excited to see what we can do at 40? How many of you are excited to see what we can do and pass this on to your kids? How many of you are excited about that? How many of you want to see this, that 100 years from now, whether you're here or not, Youngevity, your residual income, your company has impacted the world in a huge way? How many of you want that? I can only do my part, and my part is in the communication, confidence, and getting you to take action game. So I'm going to throw everything you saw on the board. Every single thing that you saw is $2.99 for everything. If you guys want it, come see me. I'll be in back. There's another speaker coming on soon. Appreciate you all. And what does it say up there, folks? Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for meeting me back if you guys are interested. First come, first serve. Thank you.